I need to tell you something that took me a long time to admit. I didn't move to Ireland for the opportunity. I moved because I was broken, and I thought a new country would fix me. It didn't. Ireland doesn't fix anything. But what it did, quietly, without announcing itself, was give me enough space to finally fix myself. And that difference between being fixed and having space to fix yourself, that difference changed everything. Let me describe what I mean by broken. Not broken in a crisis way, not in a way that would show up on any scan or test or performance review. Broken in the way that a lot of people are broken. Quietly, functionally, while still doing everything that's expected of them. I was tired in a way that sleep didn't fix, achieving things and feeling nothing about them, going through the motions of a life that looked fine from the outside and felt hollow from the inside. And I had this idea, and I think a lot of people who move abroad have this idea, that a new place would reset something. New city, new version of me. Leave the old patterns and the old postcode, arrive somewhere, and finally become the person I'd always meant to be. That's a beautiful fantasy. It's also completely wrong. Because here's what nobody tells you before you board the plane. You are the same person at 35,000 feet as you were at the departure gate. And you will be the same person when you land, whatever you're carrying. It's in the overhead compartment, and it's coming down with you. The fantasy lasts about 2 weeks. 2 weeks of novelty, new streets, new accents, new coffee shops, the genuine thrill of being somewhere that doesn't know your history. And then week 3 arrives, and week 3 is when Ireland stops being a backdrop and starts being the actual ground you're standing on. The problems you brought with you start unpacking themselves. The patterns you thought you'd left behind start reappearing in slightly different costumes. The version of yourself you are running from finds your new address. I remember sitting in my apartment in Dublin on a Sunday night in my 3rd week, rain on the window, city going quiet outside, and thinking, I'm still me. All this way, all this change, and I'm still exactly me. For about 48 hours, that felt like failure. Then something shifted, because I'm still me doesn't have to be a defeat. It can be a starting point. And Ireland, and this is what I couldn't have predicted, is one of the best places in the world to treat it as one. When I say Ireland gives you space, I mean something specific, not just physical space, though there is that. The sky here is enormous. The landscape has a scale that makes your problems feel appropriately sized. I mean, psychological space. Space that comes from being in a culture that doesn't require you to perform constantly. Here's what I mean by that. In most cities I've lived in, there's an ambient pressure to be visibly productive, to have a plan, a project, a trajectory, to be moving towards something definable and impressive at all times. Ireland doesn't have that pressure. Nobody here is asking what your 5-year plan is over a pint. Nobody is calculating your net worth from your outfit. The cultural temperature is set at something much closer to, you exist, that's fine. Take your time. And in that temperature, in that specific combination of physical scale and cultural calm, something happened to me that I can only describe as this. I stopped performing recovery and started actually recovering. There's a difference. Performing recovery looks good on the outside. The yoga, the journaling, the I've been working on myself. Actually recovering is quieter, slower, less photogenic. It involves sitting with things you don't like about yourself long enough to understand them. Ireland gave me the conditions for that. The question was whether I'd use them. What does fixing yourself actually look like in practice? I want to be concrete about this because I think the phrase gets used in ways that make it sound like a retreat or a revelation. It's not. For me, it looked like this. It looked like walking. A lot of walking, the kind that Ireland naturally encourages, long, slow, without a destination, and noticing what I thought about when there was nothing to distract me. What I found was uncomfortable. Patterns I'd been repeating for years that I'd never examined because I'd never had the stillness to see them. Why I kept choosing the same kind of exhausting relationships, why I consistently overcommitted and then resented the commitments, why I was better at appearing okay than at being okay. None of these realizations came dramatically. They came the way the Irish weather changes, gradually, without announcing itself, until you look up and the sky is different. And slowly, over months, not weeks, I started making different choices. Not because Ireland had fixed me, because Ireland had given me enough quiet to finally hear myself clearly. And once you can hear yourself, really hear yourself, without the noise, you start to know what needs to change. And then, because you know you can actually change it, I want to end this honestly. I am not a fixed person. I still have the patterns, still have the tendencies, still have the version of myself that appears when I'm stressed or tired that I'm not particularly proud of. But I know them now. I can see them coming. I understand where they come from. I can make a choice about what to do with them instead of just being carried by them. And that gap between being driven by something and choosing what to do with it, that gap is everything. Ireland didn't create that gap, but it gave me enough stillness and space and time that I could. If you moved here, or you're thinking about moving here with the hope that Ireland would fix something, I want you to hear this. It won't. But if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to use the space this country gives you, Ireland might be the best place in the world to fix it yourself. The conditions are here. The question is always what you do with them.